Welcome to All Israel Debates, where we invite you to join an internal conversation unfolding within Israeli society. If you live on planet Earth, you've probably noticed the Bring Them Home Now campaign, calling for the release of the Israeli hostages still held in Gaza. But did you know that this campaign is controversial within Israeli society? Let me explain. Of course, we want to see the hostages returned immediately if possible. But how should Israel achieve that? On one side are those demanding for a deal with Hamas now. They rightfully say that with each passing day, the lives of the hostages face greater danger. Families of the hostages and protesters gather daily demanding action from the Netanyahu government. On the other side are those saying a deal now would ensure the survival of the Hamas regime in Gaza. They believe Western governments are putting illegitimate pressure on Israel. Right-wing journalist Gadi Taub had this to say on this issue on his Telegram page. There are attempts to stop the war here, to bring down the right-leaning government and soften and weaken Israel so it will be ripe for an American imposition to divide the land. What they failed to convince the public of, they will impose from abroad. Some have even said the public pressure from hostage families emboldens Hamas to demand more for their release. Prominent thinker Eliyahu Yossian even said governmental censorship is needed over media coverage of the family's demands. But what seems even more upsetting is that this conflict has divided some hostage families. While most demand an immediate prisoner swap, other parents disagree. Zvika Moore, father of captive Lieutenant Eitan Moore, said, "We have not only 240 kidnapped Israelis, but 8 million kidnapped by Hamas. We need to be a free people in our country, free of shelters, weapons, fences, and the Iron Dome. It's noble to die for our country, yes, but it's time for our enemy to die for our country." The same sentiment was expressed by Elkanah Wiesel, a fallen soldier, in a letter he left behind, saying, "If Hamas takes me hostage, I demand no terrorist release deal in exchange for my return. Our overwhelming victory matters more." Those are strong words, yet we must remember every grieving family member still awaiting their loved one's return. Just listen to the words of Shir Segal, whose parents were kidnapped to Gaza and then brought back in a hostage deal. Shir was speaking at the Knesset about what she heard from her mother, saying, "As we are sitting here at this very moment, there is somebody in a tunnel in Gaza being raped. This has to be stated. If those were your daughters, your small boys, what would you do? How much suffering can one endure?" So what can you do? Pray for the hostages, for Israel's governmental leaders to have wisdom, and for God's will to be done. Thank you for watching All Israel Debates.